Not every touch is random, and not every gesture is innocent. Some of the most powerful signals of attraction are the ones that look completely unintentional. Because when a certain type of touch happens in front of you, it's not just a habit, it's a message. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. In female psychology, attraction rarely starts with words. It begins in the body, small, almost invisible actions that reveal what the mind is trying to hide. When there's genuine interest, energy builds internally. That energy needs an outlet, and instead of direct expression, it often escapes through subtle self-touch, playing with hair, tracing fingers along the neck, adjusting clothing, or lightly touching the lips. These gestures aren't performed for attention in a loud way. They are instinctive. They happen when someone becomes hyper-aware of presence, when emotions rise just beneath the surface. The key isn't the action itself, it's the timing, the repetition, and the awareness. When these touches happen specifically in your presence, and especially when they increase as attention deepens, they become signals, not forced, but felt. Welcome to Feminine Insight, where we break down the subtle language of female psychology and the hidden signals behind attraction that most people completely miss. Touch often begins as something subconscious rather than planned. It is not a calculated move, but a natural response of the body when emotions start to rise beneath the surface. When someone feels drawn, the mind becomes more alert, and that awareness quietly shifts into physical behavior. Without even realizing it, small gestures begin to appear, almost like the body is expressing what words are holding back. This kind of touch is usually subtle and easy to miss if you are not paying attention. It can show up as playing with hair, lightly touching the face, or adjusting something that does not really need adjusting. These actions are not done with a clear intention to send a message. Instead, they happen because there is a slight nervous energy, a mix of curiosity and awareness that needs somewhere to go. The body naturally finds ways to release that energy through movement. What makes it meaningful is not just the action itself, but when and how often it happens. If these gestures become more frequent in a certain presence, it can suggest a shift in comfort or awareness. It shows that attention is not neutral anymore. There is a layer of focus that was not there before, and the body reacts to it in quiet ways. Understanding this is less about jumping to conclusions and more about noticing patterns. Human behavior is rarely random when emotions are involved. The subconscious often speaks first, long before anything is said out loud, and it usually does so through the smallest, most natural movements. Self-touch often becomes more noticeable when someone is emotionally aware in a moment. It is not about trying to impress or send a bold signal, but more about managing an internal shift. When attention sharpens and feelings become more present, the body looks for small ways to stay balanced. That is where these gestures come in, almost like a quiet outlet for that rising awareness. These actions can look simple on the surface, like brushing hair back, touching the neck, or lightly holding the hands together. What matters is the context. When these movements appear more frequently in certain situations, it can suggest that something internally has changed. There is a sense of being more present, more tuned in, and slightly more conscious of how one is being perceived. It is also connected to comfort and familiarity. When someone feels at ease but also slightly aware, self-touch can act as a grounding behavior. It helps release small amounts of tension while maintaining composure. It is not about nervousness alone, but a mix of calm and heightened attention existing at the same time. The key is to observe without overanalyzing a single moment. One gesture on its own does not carry much meaning, but when these small actions repeat and align with a shift in energy or focus, they begin to form a pattern. That pattern reflects an internal state where awareness has increased, and the body naturally mirrors that change through subtle, repeated movements. Repetitive gestures are one of the clearest ways internal focus shows up externally. When something is on someone's mind, especially on an emotional level, the body often mirrors that through small actions that repeat without much awareness. It is not planned or deliberate. It is simply how the mind and body stay connected when attention is centered on a specific person or moment. These gestures can be as simple as repeatedly adjusting a sleeve, playing with a ring, or lightly tapping fingers together. On their own, they might seem meaningless, but when they happen again and again in the same setting, they start to reflect a pattern. That pattern usually points to a heightened level of awareness, where thoughts are not scattered but focused. What makes repetition important is that it shows consistency. A single movement can be random, but repeated behavior is rarely accidental. It suggests that something internally is holding attention, creating a loop between thought and action. The body keeps returning to the same gesture because the mind is returning to the same feeling or idea. There is also a calming effect in repetition. When emotions are slightly elevated, even in a positive way, these small actions help maintain balance. They create a sense of rhythm that keeps everything steady on the outside while something more active is happening on the inside. Noticing these patterns is about observing changes over time rather than reacting to one moment. When repetitive gestures appear alongside focused attention and a shift in overall energy, they often reveal more than words could, showing where the mind is quietly invested without needing direct expression. Body language often communicates things that words either soften or leave unsaid. It happens naturally because not every feeling is processed at a conscious level. While someone may choose their words carefully, the body tends to respond in real time, reflecting emotions as they come and go. That is why small shifts in posture, gestures, and movement can reveal more than a direct statement. These signals are usually subtle. It could be a slight lean forward, a change in how the hands move, or a softer expression that appears without effort. None of these actions are dramatic on their own, but together they create a consistent message. The body does not try to explain itself. It simply reacts to what is being felt in the moment. One important thing to understand is that body language is rarely isolated. It works as a combination of cues rather than a single action. For example, a relaxed posture paired with steady eye contact and open gestures can show comfort and engagement. When these elements align, they give a clearer picture of what is happening internally, even if nothing is said out loud. The reason body language feels more honest is because it is harder to control over a long period. People can adjust how they speak, but maintaining complete control over physical responses takes much more effort. Over time, natural behavior tends to come through. Observing body language is not about making quick assumptions. It is about noticing patterns, timing, and consistency. When these nonverbal signals align with the situation, they often provide a deeper understanding of attention and emotional presence without relying on spoken words. Comfort level plays a big role in how openly someone expresses themselves through body language. When a person feels safe and at ease in a situation, their movements tend to become more natural and less restricted. There is less overthinking involved, which allows genuine behavior to come through without being filtered too much. This is where small but clear signals start to appear more freely. In the early stages of any interaction, people are usually more controlled. Movements are measured, posture is more guarded, and gestures may feel slightly restrained. This is a normal response when someone is still figuring out the environment or the dynamic. As comfort increases, that guarded layer begins to fade. The body relaxes, and expressions become more fluid and authentic. As this shift happens, gestures can also become slightly more noticeable. There may be more openness in posture, more ease in movement, and a greater willingness to stay engaged. It is not about dramatic changes, but a gradual transition from being reserved to being more expressive. This change often reflects a growing sense of ease and presence. What is important to notice is the progression rather than a single moment. Comfort builds over time, and the body reflects that process step by step. When someone moves from being slightly closed off to more relaxed and engaged, it usually indicates that they feel more secure in that setting. Understanding this helps in reading situations more clearly. Instead of focusing on isolated gestures, it becomes easier to see how behavior evolves. That evolution often gives a more accurate sense of how comfortable and open someone feels without needing anything to be said directly. The environment quietly shapes how openly someone expresses themselves. In a relaxed and familiar setting, body language tends to be more natural and less controlled. Movements feel easier, and small gestures happen without much hesitation. In contrast, a more formal or crowded space can make someone more aware of how they are being seen. This can lead to more reserved behavior, even if the internal feelings remain the same. That is why context matters. The same person may show different levels of openness depending on where they are, making it important to notice not just the behavior, but the setting around it. At the end of it all, the biggest thing to understand is that attraction is rarely loud or obvious. It shows up in small, natural ways through behavior, timing, and subtle patterns. These gestures are not meant to be decoded like a formula, but understood as part of human expression. When someone feels a certain way, the body often reflects it before words ever do. What really matters is not focusing on one signal and jumping to conclusions, but observing consistency, context, and overall energy. People are different, and their ways of expressing comfort, attention, or interest can vary. Paying attention with awareness rather than assumption allows a clearer and more respectful understanding of what is actually happening. In the end, it is less about trying to read every move and more about recognizing genuine presence. When behavior feels natural, repeated, and aligned with the moment, it usually reflects something real beneath the surface, even if it is never directly spoken out loud.